welcome here my biggest boss, Mr. T.
Nice meeting you, Mrs. Shade. Uh, thank you, thank you.
So let me first appreciate you for all you are doing for our community of nurses that are willing to migrate from anywhere around the world to Australia, especially from the United Kingdom to Australia or from Nigeria to Australia or anywhere at all. Thank you so much for your wealth of information that you are giving out. You are ready to give out freely
It,
at every
it,
point in time.
it's pleasure. It's my pleasure. It's
So, on
my
behalf
pleasure.
of Oga Peku and all members of New Zealand Australian group, I want to register our appreciation. You've been very, very resourceful. Every other person. Thank you so very much.
Yeah, thanks very much.
So,
It's my
you recently got the golden mail.
yeah.
So, we just need you to walk us through that pathway, how someone can go through this Australian journey,
Okay,
assessment, majority, no, or you may want to touch base with all those things, and
okay.
then how to walk through the independent skill migration routes. I know many people are doing it. Some people, especially those who are not in nursing, but some
Okay,
people are still not very much into the awareness of how to get the independent skill migration done as registered nurses. So, and
okay,
you will be telling us what prompted you to looking at that, taking that there are other migration pathways, employer nomination, and all that. What prompted you? Why did you choose independence? And what are the things you want us to know about it? Thank you very much.
okay. Okay. As we all know that Australian visa journey is not an easy task. You need to be very calculative when you are going through this journey. So at first, I had secured an appointment, a job for H2, and I had put in my expression of interest. And I think the hospital was in the process of applying for my nomination for 482 visa because I'm going for 482 visa. I only have 2 years experience as a nurse, so I can't go for 186. So they need to apply for 482 for me. So they were in the process of doing that for me. But luckily I got invited for 491 491 visa. And yeah, you the 491 is a kind of provisional visa, which is kind of easy to get because the states usually add 15 points to your midpoints. So it's kind of easy. I think the points I had was 65. I had 65 points. The point I have on my own was just 50, and the state point was 15. And I was in the process of doing my PTE. I've done IELTS, but I didn't make the 7 in all bands. I have 7 in speaking, 7 in, I think, 8 in reading, but in my writing I had 6.5. So that IELTS was useless. It was
It's
just
useless.
yeah, it was useless. But I still use that IELTS to apply for or the 491 because you basically need, I think, 6 points in order to apply, six band in order to apply for any visa if you are not claiming points. So I think I'm part of the lucky ones coming into Australia very soon, and I wish I can be like you, Mama. In it, I wish I could be like you. So it hasn't been easy being in UK. We don't get paid very well. Um, Working very hard, and the wages are very low. Coupled with the cost of living is skyrocketing.
Biting hard.
So I know it's not easy in Australia too, but it's still better. It's still better. Yeah. So that is my journey so far. So good.
Thank you very, very much. And thank you for not giving up on yourself. 50
Yeah.
points on your own, then the
Yeah.
region added
So
15 points.
Yeah. Um, it would be good to elaborate my 50 points. I was able to accumulate that
Gather them.
points.
Yeah.
Yo, so for degree, I hold a master's in nursing. So even my degree, my nursing degree is a master because I didn't do nursing in my first degree. I did
Mm.
philosophy. Yeah, from
Okay.
philosophy, did a master's
So did
in
you do the
psycho.
pre-registration nursing?
Yeah, I did it
Oh, the
to
two
registration.
years one.
Yeah, I did it 2 years route. Yeah, yeah, I did
Gigi.
2 years route. Yeah, so I did it the 2 years route to nursing. Yeah, it was not something that was easy.
It
So it's all
wasn't.
about okay. Just before I derail, like I said, how I accumulated my 50 points. Um, for like we all know, if you are within if you are not above 34, you have the highest points. I think in age which is 30. So I'm
32.
less. Yeah, okay, no, yeah, 32. If you are not, so I'm less than that. So I had the 4 points.
30 for age.
Yeah, I had the 30 for age, and I can't claim experience because you need more
Yeah,
than
at
three
least
years.
3 years.
Please, yeah,
So you
three
got
years.
zero from experience.
So from experience was zero. I didn't study in Australia, so 0 points. So
Yeah,
I have a degree which gave me 15 points.
that's
That
45.
was and my partner did
You took English test.
yes, and
She's so
which
lovely. Can you give her a big, big hug for
yeah,
us?
yeah.
So I
So
also got 5 points from my spouse. I wish he had
uh,
done his own assessment, but it doesn't even matter anyway. If he had done his assessment, maybe I would have gone for 189.
one it
Because that then 189 was really flying. And as in,
was
immediately after COVID, 189 was
yeah,
flying everywhere.
during your time they were inviting nurses on 65.
Yeah.
Once you have 65 invited. So
Yeah.
so so my partner gave me 5 points.
God bless
And
her.
I was also in the process of resitting for English exam. I was in the process. And that was when I got the job for 482,
Okay.
and which let me take for it to let me go. But I registered. I've done my expression of interest for 491 since I qualified for that. So
Okay.
when the invitation came for 491, we decided that, do you know what, when we okay, when we say we are waiting for one night, we are waiting for one night for 189, time is and nobody, you understand me?
Yeah.
Because for 491 you only need to live in if you're in areas, the only place you are not allowed to live is Sydney, Brisbane and Melbourne, and you are not entitled to child subsidy, and those are conditions attached to a visa. You are independent, you are not tied to an employer, you can for after 3 years you apply for your PR. So we so all those conditions wasn't a big deal to us because we as a family like big like all these big towns, just like you understand me, someone that is coded that we can raise our children. So that is why we decided to go for 491. And and actually the timeline for grant of visa for 491 is very high. Sometimes it takes 2 years for one to have visa. But luckily my occupation was in the list of those occupation that is meant to have an expandant
Priority.
um yeah priority. So my visa was, I think, was granted in less than, I think in less than 6 weeks. Yeah, I think it came out after 1 month, 3 days, that was when I had my 491 grant. So that is it in terms of our journey so far. Yeah.
Your journey has been beautiful, sir.
Yeah,
Your
so far so
journey
good.
has been really, really
Good.
beautiful.
Yeah,
So,
so far.
I want to congratulate you. I want to thank your wife, and I need you to really expatiate on this visa 491.
Okay.
We have visas in categories that has been giving many people doubts. We have
Okay.
this 491, we have 474, we have 482. If you can touch base with each of these ones,
Okay.
what people who have them stand to gain, what they may not be able to have access
Okay.
to,
So
and
okay.
yeah.
Okay, basically, I want to talk about 474 because it's not a popular visa. So basically, the visa I'm going to talk about today is going to be 482 and 491. So we'll be just oppositing it together. 482 is simply employer sponsored visa, and it's now called skills. So it's called skills in demand. You need to have an occupation in the list of short occupation really before you can qualify for that visa. And your employer must be able to pay you a certain amount of money. I think 1,000 plus. I think some 2,150 or something like that. So your employer must really pay you that sum per annum. And after working for your employer for 2 years, your employer needs to nominate you for a task called 1A TLT. We call it TLT and something like that. So it's 1A TLT. So you transition from that 4A2 to PR. And on 482, if you are not from the list of countries that Australia have reciprocal agreement with on healthcare, you are not entitled to Medicare. But the good news is, if you reside in those countries or in any of those country and you have proof of staying in the country, like you have your tenancy agreement, you have your electricity bill, water bill, council tax, something that can show that you live in that country before coming to Australia 6 months prior to arriving in Australia. Yeah, if you can submit that to Medicare, you have Medicare card. So that is one aspect. But in general terms, if you're on 482, you are not entitled to Medicare. That means you have to pay for your health care. You have to go up private insurance, which is not that cheap. Not cheap. Also, schools in some states for workers on 482 that have kids in primary schools, colleges. Most of the states, I think they are free. Most of the states. In some states, you pay some stipends, just some cash. But basically, in 90% of the states, you pay nothing for schools. That is colleges and for young ones. And 482, you are not entitled to subsidy. 482 does you are not entitled to childcare subsidy. So you have to full cost childcare. So which is not is not easy.
It's not
What you
easy. It's not easy, but some
can do,
of us, UK have taught us to look after our kiddies. So it
yeah,
may
yeah,
not
yeah,
be too
yeah,
strange to many people.
yeah, it's not, yeah. So so you know on the platform we are, I've been a strong advocate of 482. I know you are
Whereas I've
against.
been a strong antagonist of 482,
Yeah,
especially
yeah,
if your age is not, I'm not a
yeah,
complete antagonist, but if your age
yeah,
is slamming you down, like you are 43, 44, and
yeah,
before you now turn
yeah,
45 now, you will not, you know, you wouldn't have got
yeah.
to the time you will get 186. What's the hope of that person? This
So,
reciprocal whatsoever agreement you said government brought up in the legislature, does it
mm,
cover those who will be more than 45 by the time they will be due for visa 186?
the rest is it for the TRC transition to PR?
Yes.
No, it doesn't.
So if
Once you
someone
don't,
is 43 and a half now and take the journey of Australia, and by the time they are 45, they cannot apply for 186, what would they do
yeah.
thereafter?
So you need to be, like I said earlier on, Australian journey. You need to be calculative.
Calculative, yeah.
Yeah, be calculative with your migration to Australia. I think agony of 482. I don't know why. To me, like I do say that if you can come to live in England on COS, if you can survive in England on COS for 5 years, you should be able to survive in Australia for 2 years. Listen, when wages is wages is not bad, it's okay. You can survive on full-time job. Do- Most times do extra shift in order to pay your bills.
Hmm.
So so you have you have big house now, it's very big. I know when you were living in London, maybe you were staying in one cubicle like that.
Hey,
So
Jesus. So,
so you you get me, you get benefit for your money. So those are those things. So if you can survive in England for 5 years, you should be able to survive for 2 years. And this is what I do say. If you know your intent is not to live in England, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time staying in
yeah.
England. Why don't you go on the 482?
482 and start
If
counting the years.
yes, if you are less than 43, like like you said, if you are less than 43, if you're in your 30s, you are your late in your early 30s or your late 30s, even if you're in your early 40s, you can go, you can. If it doesn't work work well for you, you go back to England, isn't it? Well,
Yeah.
so definitely, it pays. So that is why I'm one of the strong
Advocate.
protagonists, the advocate of 482 visa. It's not a bad visa at all. So many people are saying, "Oh, your employer will do this to you, your employer will do that to you, that you are not free, you get." But that's not always the case. There are some people that they are enjoying their place of work. Some people, you understand me? There are so many people that went on 482 that they now have their 186.
I
So
think
if you're intent,
Australians are reasonably kind enough than another place that I've lived. So, if except if those employers are from those areas where people are strongly unkind, I think anyone can cope. If you've coped in England, you can cope with any Australian employer.
yeah.
Except
So like
there will be always exemptions to those rules. Your ground is valid. So what if at the end of 2 years the employer is not keen on giving out 186 again? You're
now,
encouraging court
no,
cases,
no, this is what you do. Everything is all about process. This is
calculation.
what, yes, like I said, you need to be calculated before going on this journey. And this is what I've told my colleagues that have gone on 42. I have friends that have left on 482. Once they call me, oh, Mr. Yeah, I've got 482. I said, accept it. Why? I thought, take it and go. Don't wait. Because there are some people that had 482 since the last 2 years. When they were giving 482, like, even now the 482 is hard to find. It's not like before that they recruit like that. It's not that easy. Yeah, it's only some few specialization that you can get all this job easily, like which is aids care, mental health, other special kind of hard to find employment nowadays. So, like I said earlier on, like I said, once you get your offer, you need to get back to your employer and tell them that they should write it in that offer. We offer you one ACEs after this time.
Not just a verbal
Not
instruction or
just
information.
not like verbal stuff. Nothing like verbal stuff. It needs to be written down. If it is not written down, it didn't happen. That is the philosophy. If it's not written down, so your employer needs to write it in your letter that you'll be nominated for one ACs this so time. It should be written on your offer. And like I said, got for the agreement on my 482 was that I'll be nominated for one ACEs after 1 year. That it was written. Even my friend that just left for Australia last month, um, she's an 8 year nurse. It was written there. When she sent me a letter, when she sent me a letter, when she sent me an offer letter, I went to it. There was nothing like you'll be nominated for one ACEs after I'm working for us for a certain period of time. And I go back to her that, do you know what? Email your employer that they should include that stuff in your offer letter, because your offer letter is a kind of contract. It's a contract between you and your employer.
Yes, so
So I told her that I should email them that they should include that in our offer letter, which she did, and our employer they were happy to include that. So you can't get to that stage. It's only when you don't perform well that your employer will say, oh, we can't nominate you because you have not been doing well, you don't come to work, you are calling sick. That is when your employer will not nominate you. But when you are performing your task, your duties, come on, why will your employer say they will not nominate you for 186? You understand me? But I get you might have a wicked manager, but come on. But when you do your job, and it is not the duty of the manager to nominate you, it is the duty of the human resource to do that. So it should be written in your offer letter as far you are working for that company, as far you are not sacked. You get me, you don't have any issues, you are not sacked, and it's written in your offer letter, they will nominate you because it's there. It's there. So that is why I'm an advocate of 482. So we have spoken so much about 482. So we'll go to the next one, which is 491.
so thank you for that. Before you move on, these
Yeah.
reciprocal countries that you talked about, if people have lived there and they are
And
to move to
for
Australia, they
for
can
medic.
get Medicare, provided they
Yeah, yeah.
supply bills and all that. Is
Yeah.
it on if they are on permanent residency in those countries or just on any kind of visa, student visas,
Now
tier two or
there,
whatsoever, work
there
visa?
is no there is no criteria on the Medicare website that said you must be a citizen of that particular country. There is nothing on the website that said you must be a citizen. That what it says is that you must be a resident.
And just bring the proof that you've been resident there, which is reasonable. All right.
Yeah, so
Thank you.
that's
That's
what it is.
beautiful. Yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful. So 2 years, then get 186 and move on. So you not encourage that when someone comes in, they should just look at maybe boost up their points and apply for
Ah, yeah,
independence
yeah,
on their
that,
own.
the independent visa is the best visa. It's a golden visa because with the independent visa you are not tied to any employer. You can work multiple jobs. You can decide to go part time, but with your 482 you can't go part time. You have to do full time. You can only work for your employer on 482 visas. You get that, but your independent visa, you are free to do anything you want to do. You
Yeah.
can decide, oh, I don't become a nurse anymore. I don't want to become an engineer anymore. I don't want to become an IT person anymore. I want to become a businessman, a businesswoman. I say so that is a whole lot about 482. Like I said, the independent skilled visa, which is 189, 190, 491, um is the best kind of visa. Yeah, it's very good. So in terms of 491, so 491 is also one of the skilled independent visa, which is known as provisional regional visa, which you have to live in regional areas. You can't live in three big cities. The big, I call them the big boys of Australia's. So of Australia, you can't live in three big cities, which are Brisbane, Sydney, and Melbourne. Apart from that, you can live anywhere. You can live in Perth. You can live in Gold Coast. You can live in Adelaide, the one we popularly call Adelaide. You can live in Adelaide.
I even
You
live
can
in a
live.
city. If you like big life, like Abuja guys,
Yeah, yeah,
stay
yeah.
in pets.
Yes. So you can live basically in those big cities. Yeah, apart from the three I mentioned earlier.
To
And
be very very truthful, I really don't see, except people really like living in big places. I don't see anything so special. Uh there are people on 189 who have even decided to be living rural, not even regional.
yeah.
So I don't see any big deal in 491. It's just like everything to me in terms of
Okay.
where
So
you are
let me,
residing, except if
let
you in
me
your mind, or maybe
yeah,
because of your spouse, because I have someone whose spouse's role is majorly in those cities. That's actually
okay.
what's stopping them from picking any of those regional visas and all that. Otherwise,
Okay.
to me, it's just get the visa, come, live wherever you like to live. But
So
at least if they are independent completely, it gives you a whole lot of flexibility of choices of whether you are thinking about this town or thinking about that region and all that. So I don't even see the reasons to live in those big cities except you like it, because me, I don't like the rush. Oh. I've lived in Lagos. I resigned my role in
right,
Lagos. Okie
it
dokie, come in. I was working
it's
with
best.
IKEA. I had to leave that job. I went to Ilesha Jeje. Me, I love-
Yeah.
So, in
Do you
fact,
know
the day
what?
I was leaving Lagos, in fact, the day I was leaving my job, I was to step down from that mode and I fell down.
Mm.
I just said, thank God I'm leaving this town the next few days. But of
So
course, I know it
it's
won't be like that here.
yeah,
But having so much rush here, rush there, it's not everybody that love. But some people love it, whatever people like. So I don't see anything so extremely big in don't live in the
yeah.
city for 2 3 years
It's
on this
even
visa.
better. It's even better to start your life in a smaller town or a smaller city than going to Sydney, going to Melbourne, or going to Brisbane. Those places are too expensive. Like you'll be paying you'll be paying $750 for two-bedroom apartment in those places. Whereby if you go to Perth, you go to Gold Coast, you go to Adelaide, with I think with 600 pounds you can get 3 to 4 bedroom out there with spacious
And
space
that
for
will
you.
be comfortable.
So
So.
instead of going to those big places, because I know someone that stays in Sydney. For two-bedroom apartments is paying, I think, $1,200 per week in
per
Sydney.
week.
Yes, that's
Person must be a very big boy now.
it pays. Well, if you take that 1,200, for instance, to Bendigo, come on, your house will have swimming pool. You have everything in your house with that one
And
too.
that
But
one too is not per week. Oh, for Bendigo, you're almost close to what you will pay per month.
yeah, yeah, obviously, yeah. They want to in Bendigo. Nice houses starts from 580 dollars in Bendigo. Five. If you want nice houses, 580 unfurnished. But
Per
if you
week.
want yeah, per week. But if you want houses that have swimming pool, budget like $800 per week,
This way.
which my friend is paying like 1,002 for two-bedroom apartment in Sydney.
Thank you.
So
Tell us more. In the
so
last few weeks, you've been giving people the big gig of going for PT.
like I said, PTE is one of the easiest English exam to kill.
If it wants to be easy for you, that exam will
Yeah,
just be easy.
like I like I
Anyone that
said,
exam chooses to punish, now
like I
punish
said,
to finish.
like I said, PTE was not favorable to me. All I know is that in in all band except for speaking, I was having the topmost score 90. But speaking was my problem. So I think I did PT how many times? I think 10 times.
You just remind me of one of my friends that we used to make fun of ourselves that why can't
Yeah.
use our money to plant
Yeah.
to plant flowers.
Ah, so I did PT for
That
9
was
years.
what I was experiencing too when I wrote PT. I wrote PT 3 times and I wrote IELTS just once and I had what I needed. I had 7
Yeah,
across modules then back in Nigeria.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
So
I think it doesn't recognize some of we people that have stayed so long have been eating pounded yam,
yeah,
fufu,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
semo.
So
You'll be surprised that if one of your kiddies pick that speaking, they will score 90.
yeah. No,
And
it's PT,
speaking is that module that affect all the other 3 modules.
all others. Yeah, yeah. So it was not that hard, very easy because I've tutored so many people. I tutor so many people. And most even my partner, I was the one that sat her down for her, and she went. She didn't even need 90, but she scored 90.
You
so
see?
she so it was very easy just for you to understand the tips and tricks of PT. You go
Yeah,
there.
it's once the
So
tricks, the
it's
magics.
it's not that even
So
even
does
people
it
that
mean you
don't
have do you have materials if someone needs help, they can reach out to you when you are
the
free or
best the
something?
best yeah the best material is on YouTube. Make YouTube your friend. Just and there's an app, Alpha PTE, which is very good. You go on maybe if you're using iPhone, go on the Apple Store, you get it there. If you are using Android, go on your Google Store, download Alpha PTE. You have also called Ape Uni, it's very good. Subscribe to it. I think it's um, subscribe, practice. I have a friend that just graduated nursing school in UK. So she contacted me that, oh, I want to process Australia. And what I told her is that sit for PT. That is the first step. So the first PT exam she did, she scored, I think, 55 in speaking, 60. She just called them like that. And do you know what I told her? I said you have done well for yourself. Do you know what? Don't relax. Rebook the test instantly, because if you relax, you forget what you have learned. That was what I told her. And that same day, she paid for another PT exam, and she did it. I think the result I posted on the WhatsApp group class was her results. She scored 90. So once you do it once, don't give up. Just just pay again, like I did. I never gave up, and I never gave up. I finally passed my IELTS anyways. So, but it was IELTS that favored me at last. I finally passed my IELTS because I did IELTS two times, but it was useless for me because I already had an invite for 491, which I already even applied for my visa. So it
491
was,
is good. It's not a death sentence. In fact, no visa is a death sentence. As long
yeah,
as
no,
one has
but
target and they can work
yeah.
towards what they desire.
So, like I said, we're talking about 482 and 491, which I've not spoken about the pros cons of 491, because our viewers will want to know more about that, because I know there will be many people that want to go for that visa. So, like I said, 482, no subsidy. The same thing goes with 491. There's no subsidy. You are not entitled to any help from the government. The sweetest thing about 491 is that you have access to Medicare, irrespective of where you come from. If you are from Nigeria, Togo, Ghana, China, Philippines, as far as you have 491 visa, you are entitled to Medicare. You also have unlimited working rights. You can work independently. You are not tied to any employer. Um, think I think the only cons to 491 is this. Uh you don't have subsidy, you are not entitled to subsidy. If you want to purchase a house, you're going to pay FT amount of money. You're going to pay stamp duty, you're going to pay what is called foreign investor tax, which is not that cheap. So you're going to pay some FT fee in order to purchase a house, because anybody on temporary visa, you have to pay what is called FIRB, foreign investor fee, like that. So I think
Revenue,
that is just,
whatsoever they
um,
call it.
yeah. So those are just the few disadvantages of the visa. Apart from that, 491 is a very nice visa because you are not tied to any employer. After 3 years on the visa, you apply to 191 visa and you get your payout. That is it.
991 or
One
887.
one
I can't
call,
even remember what the name is.
no, called 191 visa.
191.
887 has been abolished. So what we have now is 191 visa. So you apply to 191 visa, you get that, and after 1 year on that visa, you apply to the commission.
Citizenship.
Yeah, so that is the goal, isn't it? So, but the fact remains that the person that has 190, the same year you have your 491, you get citizenship the same time.
Same time. Even the person that has 189.
Yeah. So
The person
so
that has 189, 186, 482. If they even 482, if they are able to get um PR, right? 2 years,
yeah,
1 year on PR. It's just 1 year on PR.
just
If they,
1 year period. You to
yeah, and
stay
four
4 years.
years in
Yeah.
Australia. So if they're able
Yeah.
to get that one, then all these visa, even student visa, if they're able to get PR and have spent 1 year plus 4 years in Australia, It's all
Yeah,
good for citizenship. So
yeah,
that was what someone was asking me one time, and I said I have no special saying that a visa is better than the other, except if it's not going to allow you to have your own life to live. Like you won't
yeah,
at
yeah,
the end of the day have opportunity to your stay, or and you desire to stay. Otherwise,
yeah.
other than that, I know people who came on student visa and they are really balling hard these days. So, and they work their way
Even
into
students are
getting the
making
best
money
out of it.
because
So I think the best is for everyone to have
yeah,
a plan, a focus, and to run with that vision.
yeah, people are making money. So Australia, like they call it, the land of milk and honey. So everybody, everybody will
You
tap
still
on
really
the.
need to work hard too, but like working hard here
Ah,
is
no, you don't
it's
like. I
beautiful.
say,
Have you started looking at progress means of career progression and all that?
I'm a mental health nurse. Like I said, earlier on, I was in the process of applying for my 482 nomination. When my invitation for 491 came through, so I still kept that job. So I'm going to start
So how did your
job with them.
employer feel about 491?
Ah, it saved them money. They were happy. So it saved them money.
So were they able
So
to do some other things for you, like give you house, how many weeks, how many
so
months?
uh so in terms of accommodation, they offer me and they are offering me 1 month free accommodation, yeah, on arrival, which can be extended if I can't find a place to stay.
Okay.
And they offered me 10,000 relocation package on arrival. So
Will that
so
be
on
taxed
arrival,
or not?
I don't think it will be taxed. It will be given to you
Mine
straight
too
away.
wasn't taxed.
Yeah, yeah. You don't need to tax it. They give you out of your wages. But but is that you have to give them receipts of what of what you are using the money for. So
Why?
is it that you? I don't know. That is Victoria for you. So you have to present receipts
Okay.
for
Oh.
e- everything you are claiming. So you can, yeah, like I brought flight tickets. You can claim for that, which is allowed. You can also claim for removal list fee. If you are sending your stuff over, you can also claim for, if you pay your house rent in Australia, your bonds, you can claim those. So which is now, so the money will be claimed because I've got so many things to buy when I get there. So that is the problem. So they'll have enough receipts from me. So that is it. It's not a big problem because I brought flight ticket for me and my family. So, and we are starting afresh in Australia.
Not bad at
So
all.
that,
Not bad at all. I can
yeah.
ensure you that you will
Uh,
enjoy it. We've had
let's
good.
hope so.
Bendigo is one of our referral centers, and their testimony is beautiful.
Let's hope so. Let's hope we
I
enjoy
may end
it.
up referring to you. We do refer to you guys from here.
Anytime, we are happy to accept your patient, treat them well, offer the ultimate care to them, the care they deserve.
So, looking forward,
Yeah.
next 2 years, what are the
So
projections?
my projection is I think I want to work for myself. I want to work for myself. I want to become a business person. Is either I open my drug and alcohol clinic, which nurses are allowed to open in Australia. So, which, yeah, I'll do that and care for people with those problems. Yeah, making part in people's life.
So, have you been looking into specialties in mental health then here in Australia? and how
This
financially
my
buoyant the people in
my
those
I'm
areas
not
are.
even I'm not interested in money for now. I'm not interested in that money. Money is not my major goal. Like I said, I'm not going to Australia because of money. Because in England, if it's about money, I won't leave England. If it's all about making the money, I won't leave England. I won't be in England. Going to Australia, I just want to go and learn. I want to be open to new opportunities, and I'm going to exploit those opportunities. So I'll be open to new opportunities. Let me see what the system has to offer me, and I tap from it. But I believe that Australia is a land of opportunities where there are so many things that is untapped. And you know that our brothers are not much there. Nigerians, Africans are not that much in
Mhm.
Australia. I was in Australia in I think last year August. I was in Sydney, I was in Adelaide. I could count the number of blacks I
I
saw in
was in a big market in Melbourne last month. Last month? Yeah, February. And I
yeah,
saw Chinese, do they call it Chinese village, and Indian village. I
yeah,
didn't see
yeah,
Nigerian
yeah,
village.
yeah. You can. In Sydney, there's a Chinese village there, big Chinese village in Sydney. So I think in Brisbane, I heard that Brisbane does not even have. I think Queensland in O does not have African restaurant. I don't know if it's open now. I don't know if it's true. I was just watching someone's YouTube Damiti, no Damiti. She was saying it that there's no African restaurant. But I don't know because the video was 1 year ago, so it might has changed now. So there are so many opportunities I believe will come my way. So I'm just open to exploring those opportunities to
God will guide
my
your
age.
footsteps
Yeah,
and guide my
yeah,
footsteps too.
yeah. I want to be like you. We are following you.
Greater than us, by God's grace.
Ah, we hope so. We hope so. Want to be like you. Yeah.
Thank you so
So
much. God
yeah,
bless you.
yeah.
So
It's my
hopefully
pleasure.
people who are looking for 482 and
Yeah.
491 will now be able to make up their
Choose.
mind in very good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah. So both of them are not
So
um
it's only child subsidy that is the major thing now. For people who can bring their documents to show that they've been resident in some places, they should be fine with Medicare
they should be
or
fine. Yeah.
482. And childcare, if I remember when I got to the UK, one of the mummies they just said, you don't even need to take that child off to anywhere. One of you
Mm.
should be looking after the child when the other one is at work. In fact,
But
she said, as at
do you know
then,
that
she said the money you will pay for childcare is it will only remain like two pounds for you if you use that time to work.
there is someone in Australia, I think a friend of mine, is in Adelaide. The waiting list for childcare.
Thank you.
She
See,
has
we've been
applied.
here for the past
She
six
has
months. We just got called up for these ones that you were seeing. We just got
okay.
called up to come and register them.
And,
We've gone
okay.
round, round, round. And all these countries, they have their own areas. In fact, they think that they
Yeah.
said some people used to book childcare like
Yeah.
in
But before you give,
pregnancy when when the
yeah,
babies were
yeah,
already in the utero.
yeah. That is what. Yeah. So like we have been doing that. We have been calling round, listing
And I have people
our
who were lucky
yeah.
that before they even got in, they've already secured childcare for their children.
Yeah, it's all about luck. You might be lucky. I
Mm.
think the best part of the year to get childcare space is January.
Yeah, seems so. I agree
Yeah,
with
because
you totally.
I I I, I called one of the childcare center. So she advised me that in January some people are going to another, I think, another class. So there will be space for new people to come.
That's the truth.
So some people are moving, New Year resolutions. Some people are not working again. So So many things, so many things happen in January. So she advised me that the best month of the year is. So I think when I call her, I think they have like four availabilities. And I told her, oh, I'll be coming so time. She said, oh, no, I don't think we'll have availability then. So that is it.
Shall be well.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Thank you very much for your time.
Ah,
I
thanks for
wish you
having
safe
me.
trip up to the country
Ah,
down under.
thank you. Thanks for having me
And
on
I
your.
wish you brilliant time with your employer and
Ah,
colleagues.
yeah.
Thank you so very
Hopefully.
much.
Thanks very much for
Yeah.
having me
Bye.
on your. It's a nice thing to share my wealth of knowledge with others.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
because when I started this journey to we learn from you, watch your YouTube videos, learn from peculiar
Nurse
group,
deal.
learn deal. So many people. So now it's
Area.
now our time, to help others.
We are
So
waiting to have you on a YouTube channel too, so that people can
yeah,
learn from your wealth of
I'm
experiences and knowledge.
I'm starting my YouTube
Please
channel
pack
very
it.
soon.
Let's have you here.
Yeah. Oh, we'll start
Thank.
something. We'll start something. Yeah, we'll
We
start
pay you
something.
visit when you come to Bendigo.
Absolutely, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, welcome. Anytime, any day, you're
All
welcome.
right. Thank you very
Okay.
much. Safe trip down
Thank
here.
you. Okay. Thanks. Okay.
Thanks so much for your
Bye.
time.